Okay. So, Caroline, do you remember when you actually met Marcia?
No, because I'm sure we met in the playpen.
In the play? It was really that early?
Yeah, I'm sure because her parents came to Glasgow, Kentucky,
Right.
where her grandparents lived every summer.
Right.
So I would always see her. I mean, Marcia's been a part of my life from conscious memory.
Right.
And then we usually went to her house once a summer too, because we'd go see my grandparents in Ohio and just swing by Indianapolis and see Helen and Jesse's families. And so there's always been Marcia in my life.
Yeah, that's something like, it's gone on and on and on. Yeah, and then you guys have stayed in contact. Now, when did you move out here?
85.
85.
1985,
Okay. So, did you and Marcia hook up a lot from 80? Well, she came out in 88. Right.
And I got hold of her shortly after she'd moved here.
Right.
And she came out, either she came to my house or I went to her. I think I probably went to hers because she wouldn't have known how to get to my house. And then she came to mine and we sort of kept in touch off and on, but we were real busy. You know, she's got a lot of things going on, working, whatever, and I had 2 small children, but we never totally lost touch with each other during the California years. Now, before that, when she was in Florida and she was in New York, we probably only exchanged Christmas cards, but we knew what each other was doing because of our parents. And so I knew when she moved here, because my dad probably told me.
Right. Now, that's cool. So, so you guys spent a lot of time together then as kids?
As kids, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Because after I got to be in maybe preteen, you know, I would go stay at her house sometimes in the summer.
Right.
There were enough relatives going to and from Indianapolis that we had a little ferry system. And like her parents might come down, I'd ride back, stay a couple weeks. My parents would then come through, take me home.
Right. Oh, good. And you guys used to do a lot of singing together, right?
Yeah. We were quite the songstresses. I'm actually amazed that we didn't go on to, you know, have an act and be in Las Vegas, bumping out Celine Dion. You know,
you had an act, you just didn't
take it on the road.
Exactly, and to get paid for it.
Yeah, we might have gotten paid to shut up.
And then there's who's the third cousin that's in that?
Well, Jenny Lou.
Right. So it's Marcia Lynn.
Jenny Lou and Carol Ann.
Right. And everybody has to have 2 names.
We were all called both names all the time.
And what's the purpose of that?
Just a Southernism. It's just like Billy Bob. It's just the way people are, and they're sort of frustrated in the South when they can't use 2 names. Like my brother's name was Robert Carter. Well, I was a mouthful. Couldn't he have been Bobby Joe or something? They would have felt better if they could have said that. And Mark, I don't even know Mark's middle name, but you know, it was certainly, and it would be girls, of course, always. You know.
And you have to draw out the end. Marcia
Lynn, you get in here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, why are you glad there's a Marcia?
Well, Marcia's a really special person. So in her own right, as a successful human being, she's special for that reason. She's a good friend to people. She makes an impact in people's lives, and she cares about other people. But why I particularly am grateful there's a Marcia is because she's my family, and there's no substitute for family, and there's no substitute for that connection. That person always knew you. And there's a shared history there, and the characteristics, the things that we find, we look around and go, oh, I do that, like sleep in the car, nervous rider, long toes, the things that come just from sharing those genes.
Right, and we could really see that at the reunion. I mean, you could just see how much of that was all interconnected. And like you said, even though you don't really think about it, it's all these long strands of connection. And the genes do mean something.
The stuff you don't know. I didn't know that anybody else was as full a rider as I am for no good reason. And Marcia said, so she, and Pinky said, so she. And so apparently a family characteristic, and the ability to fall asleep anywhere. I got it from my dad. I knew that, but Marcia got it from her mother, who's my daddy's sister. So,
right. Wonderful, wonderful. And you must have some funny stories about Marcia.
Yes, and you touched upon my favorite.
Okay.
I have lots of funny stories about Marcia.
Right.
But my favorite is when one summer I was staying with her, probably for a week or two, and whatever motivated us, we're listening to, I think it was the Letterman, an album. And the song was Accentuate the Positive. And we decided to make up a routine. And we used her her dresser mirror. And we modeled it, and we got the idea from the Patty Duke show. So that dates us to the probably early 60s. And so we each started off outside the mirror and came in, and we mirrored, we did the same gestures, and so we're just singing away, Accentuate the Positive, probably 8-10 hours a day. We did have the door shut, but I'm still sure that the rest of the family was doing that. And we never performed it for anyone, to my knowledge. I guess Mark would have been the only one who might have sat through it, and we didn't think he'd be an appreciative audience, so we just blew right past him. And so for the whole time I was there, we did that. And then never again. It was, a one-time only, one summer only performance, apparently. But we had a lot of fun working and working and working on that.
Yeah, and you were about how old? Do you remember?
Too old to be doing that.
Like you're...
I might have been 12, and that would have made her 10, or her 12, me 14.
Yeah.
Old enough to know better to perform in front of the mirror.
It must have been a pretty good-sized mirror.
No, we were small. We were really thin. No, it wasn't wide. It wasn't like a big three-sided or anything. It was just this. So, we squunched right in there close, and yeah. I bet Marcia could still sing it. I bet between us, I don't know that we could get the gestures still, because time has dulled our memory.
But
But I bet we know the words.
I bet you do, and I bet you guys would actually have, it's the kinetics.
If we got together?
Yeah, in fact, we may have to do a reenactment using the camera while we're in Yosemite.
Well, you'll want to have lots of wine, and that would help overcome our stage fright, I'm sure.
But it would accentuate the positive.
Yeah. I've always felt that way about wine and us. So it accentuates the positive. We're way friendlier.
Okay, great. Okay, go ahead.
Best wishes to you, Marcia, on your Columbus Day birthday, your half-century mark. It's been 50 great ones. I expect 40, 45, maybe 50 more great ones as you're just entering your prime. It's been wonderful having you in my life all these years, and I look forward to entering our dotage, still hanging on to each other, accentuating the positive, and maybe working up an act, taking it on the road. Best wishes to you. Have a great day.